Hello, my beautiful, friendly coin people. Hope everyone's having a great start to your day. So real quick before we get into our topic, I just want to let you guys know that the live coin Q&A panel, few of our members are at the Grove, Oklahoma coin show this weekend. All right, they're actually there today on the channel live coin Q&A. They're also doing interactive live streams. They had done a couple live streams so far today. Don't know if they're going to do another one, but I would suspect tomorrow is going to be the more active out of the 3-day event. And yeah, be sure to check out the channel for some of those just on the fly live streams. There's a few other YouTubers in attendance at this Grove, Oklahoma show. I wasn't able to attend due to some personal reasons, but next time we're there, probably next year, I will be there. So you'll get to meet me in the future at this event. And they're trying to make it the big YouTube event every year, and that's in Grove, Oklahoma. So go ahead and check it out. All right, so we're on Heritage Auctions website, and the Central States Numismatic Show wrapped up last week. All right, and it featured a pretty nice soiree of Fred Weinberg error coins, and I wanted to take some time to go through the list of these particular error coins. There was also quite a few canceled dies that were also being sold. We're not going to look at those. Dies are dies, okay? Usually modern canceled dies don't really have anything fancy going on with them. They'll grind the top of the die off where you don't have any recognizable design on any of those coins that were being produced from those dies. So we're not going to look at those. However, there are a number of coins that's sold. Some of them pretty crazy and wild, and more than likely these are going to be coins that you will never find in circulation. Okay, we're just going to kind of breeze through those. Maybe if there's something super interesting, I'll point it out. But for the most part, there are a selection of pieces that were being sold with Fred Weinberg's provenance. Okay, if you guys don't know who Fred Weinberg is, he's only like the top kind of king of errors. He really knows his stuff. Even has his own website, and he's starting to wind down from his collection and his business. So Heritage Auctions actually was the consignor of choice to move a good chunk of Mr. Weinberg's collection of error coins and various types of error related ephemera in there. So we're here. Actually, this is the Central States Numismatic Show archives. Again, these had all concluded last week. This is May 8th. Today we are the 13th. All right, so that's 5 days ago when this event had closed. But you're going to see again some things that probably you won't ever come across, like webbing from a punch planchet strip. This one is actually graded by PCGS. And if you look over here on the right hand side, you're going to see how much they had sold for. So each and every single item, again, consigned by Heritage Auctions, all Fred Weinberg provenance pieces. Here's some small cent type 2 planchets, blanks. All right, so those are all in there. 1909 VDB. This one has a cud at the bust. This one ended up selling for $504, but it does seem like it's a lot of money for an '09 VDB. But cuds, again, are kings. Kings of the error world, recently, I would say in the last couple years. And this one also is a mid-state 64. So you're also going to see, again, some of the more kind of crazy errors. Here's a 1920 Lincoln cent that was struck on an Argentina 10 centavos planchet. So it's got a little bit different composition. It says 10% rolled thick. Again, very expensive piece. There's going to be pieces like this. This 1944. I think this is probably the first thing that you need to know about. Struck on a rolled thick planchet. So the planchet for this 1944 Lincoln is going to be a lot thicker. This particular coin ended up weighing at 4.17 grams, which is a just over a full gram of heaviness added on top of the regular 3.11 that you would normally associate with this particular planchet. So yeah, finding a coin that is a little bit thicker and it's going to weigh a little bit more, again, about a gram thickness or a gram weight heavier is going to be the deal here. This one right here, again, Mint State 64. It's in pretty nice shape. Sold for $630. Again, this is the type of error that you'll come across and not really know what it is. It's just going to look like a little bit thicker Lincoln cent. And oftentimes you're going to find a lot of these in 1944. I think I have one that I had found about 8 years ago, because I go through a lot of Lincoln wheat cent bags. So that's kind of like my main source of medium for finding things like this. All right. So, yeah, you're more likely, these double struck coins you're not going to find in there. This one right here is a pretty well circulated 1950D Lincoln cent that was struck on a silver dime planchet. Okay. So in 1950, they were still using the good old 90% silver planchets, and this particular Lincoln cent was struck inadvertently on that. It's seen quite a bit of circulation because it grades out AU 53. Sold for $1,440. There's also some other dates too here as well, all struck on silver dime planchets. Again, they're going to have that silvery color. I mean, if you dropped it on a wooden table or any surface at all, you're going to know that they're silver. These wrong composition, wrong planchet strikes are very desired. They sell anywhere from a few $100s for these silver ones to as high as $1,000 or more, depending on condition. And look at the grade on some of these. Some of these, AU, which indicates a coin that's been circulating for a little while. So, I mean, these aren't coins necessarily that had come out of BU rolls when they were first made. Okay, some of these actually had seen some circulation. So there's a number of pieces here. Once we cross into 1965, we actually have Lincoln cents that were struck on clad dime blanks. Okay, these are copper nickel clad coins. You have some of these insane, like higher graded examples that, of course, fetch the most amount of money. Again, the grading rules still apply when it comes to error coins. The finer the specimen, the more money that it will capture on the secondary market when it's time to go for a sale. All right, so we're just going to kind of move on from here. Again, more off-center strikes. We're going to keep moving there. Here's a blank planchet, type 2. This is from looks to be Liberty Nickel, 1883 to 1912. I don't know how they discern that. There's a little bit of a close-up for you guys. So that's what it's just a blank planchet. Sold for $660. And here's a silver war nickel. This one right here, what is this one? It's a type 1 blank, all right? So it doesn't have the upset rims on this. So this is the raw product before any processing's done to it. But it's a silver war nickel composition, so it's that silver manganese alloy. Sold for $1,000 right there. Here's a 1950 nickel struck on a silver dime planchet. Sold for $2,000. We got a couple more off metal strikes here. All right, so this first one right here, okay, these are going to be a few of the coins that you guys should keep an eye out on, because believe it or not, I've come across these. There's one main specific date that I do know about that's a little bit more sought after than the other two that's listed here. All right, so we got the 1971D Jefferson nickel. Okay, this coin grades AU50 through PCGS, but this particular example has something what they call a misplaced mint mark. The mint mark is in a similar kind of position on the coin to any other nickel that you see today. All right, only this one is punched a little bit lower on the die. You could see how much further south this particular coin is. Now, to a lot of folks that I've talked to in the community that actually searches through nickels had said, yeah, I found quite a few of these before, but never thought that they would have any sort of value. Now, granted, yes, these all have Fred Weinberg's name on them, but it doesn't really mean a whole lot when it comes to coins like this. This one right here, actually, PCGS had assigned this one. Let's go ahead and click into it because I want to take a look at the slab if it's in here, and it is. Let's see. Yeah, it says misplaced mint mark low. Now it's got Fred Weinberg collection on there. Again, you could make whatever you want to make of it. I mean, he's a phenomenal person in the hobby. But yeah, notice that they do attribute a low mint mark or misplaced mint mark attribution on these coins. Now, this particular example, guys, sold for $216. If there was any doubt in the world that these things have any value, this is proof positive right here. What does this all mean? I would certainly keep track of these coins as you come across them, because you never know when you're going to come across a misplaced mint mark type of coin, especially on the nickels. Now, here's another one here. This time we're looking at 73D. Notice the positioning of the mint mark is way low compared to where the normal tolerance area is for that particular mint mark. So this is a 73D. Denver Mint, you know, some would say is better known for their great quality control, but this again kind of says a different story. I mean, anybody who's a human individual can make mistakes. It doesn't matter what mint facility you work at. So again, here's another kind of off-key kind of date right here with a low mint mark or a misplaced mint mark. This would be another coin to look out for. This one right here is a PCGS AU55, and it did manage to sell for $216. Okay, so that's pretty phenomenal. Again, another way that you could kind of take advantage of what's out there today. You know, believe it or not, I had no idea that these two were attributed by the graders. And second of all, I didn't even know that they had this kind of market value, because if it did, I probably wouldn't, you know, grade them per se, because it looks like the type of coin that would instantly sell itself. Like if you wanted to throw it up on eBay, you know, on a 7-day auction, you know, you may not get 216, but what if you got $100 for it? Right, just for a raw coin, ungraded, something that you had found in circulation or in a bankroll. I mean, that's a pretty good, you know, just a pretty good selling feature of just searching through these and looking for these nickels with mint marks that are kind of like either a little bit high or a little bit low. All right, which brings us to the 1975. You guys know this one as a coin where you can find the high placed mint mark that saddles the 5 in the date and Jefferson's little hair tie on his ponytail, which is way further north than where that particular mint mark's supposed to be. It was probably about 10 years ago, a gentleman by the name of Q. David Bowers, okay, who is a numismatist journalist, among a few other things. The man's been in the community for a long time. I think he's even retired as of today. But he had put out a bounty on this particular coin. I even made a video about it a long time ago of $1,000. Okay, not just for an example, but he was looking for one example that would consider a grade of mid state something, whether it's mid state 60 or up. So he had put $1,000 bounty for this particular coin right here. Well, guess what, guys? This one right here, it looks like it came straight out of change based off of condition. XF40, all right, that's a pretty well circulated grade. Ended up selling for $1,080. Again, if you found a coin like this, okay, it's really a toss-up on whether or not you actually want to send it off to a third-party grader or just selling it as a raw coin. I think you could do good either way. We also have a 1982 nickel 3-coin CUD progression set. I think this is pretty cool. Ended up selling for $576. Here's a proof coin, a 76S with a CUD die break that's at the base of. It's really hard to tell. All right, so this right here would trick some folks but it's got a cut die break right there at the base of Jefferson's bust, between the mint mark and the designer's initials right there. Pretty cool. This one ended up selling for just over 500 and some change. Okay, we come on down the list here. Another great Roosevelt dime proof coin, this time on a 78S. It looks like it's got a split die crack, split obverse die. This one's a proof 69 deep cameo, sold for $456. That's pretty cool. Here's a couple more interesting pieces. Here's a candy $50. It says die setup piece. Could possibly be a die adjustment strike. Sold for $336. Straight end scrap of a Type 1 blank. That's what, 40% silver $50, $384. All right, so that's page 1. Now, this one's pretty neat. I remember seeing this one, and it's this 1974 candy $50, grades PCGS Mid-State 63. It says struck on an incompletely punched planchet, $408. Now, there's a little bit of a close-up. You guys see that little crescent moon kind of cut right there? That is the incomplete punch. All right, so it had attempted to punch at one point out of the strip, and it wasn't complete, and it backed off and then did one sharper, stronger punch, and it got it out. But it kind of tilted a little bit where it retained the old first punch out attempt. More blank planchets, quite a few of these actually. Here's an Eisenhower dollar, same as the Kennedy that we had seen before, this time on an Eisenhower, struck on an incompletely punched planchet, sold for $1,080. Here's a proof. Now, this is another one right here that normally most people would overlook. It's a 1972S silver Eisenhower dollar with just a simple clip. This has got a clipped, kind of curved clip planchet there right next to the date. This one sold for $288, where otherwise that would be just an $8 coin on any other day. More blank planchets. Some old coins in here with some, say, struck on elliptical planchet, double struck, experimental planchet, 1920. Wow, $5,200 is what that one sold for. So probably a different composition used there. Here's some 1943 Lincolns that were struck on silver dime blanks. This one right here is bent, so it's a details grade XF40, so it's definitely seen some action in its circulation. It was probably even used as a flathead screwdriver. $1,440, but yeah, the prices go up from there. This is a very popular era right here. So it goes up to $5 grand. 1944 experimental planchet, Mid-State 62. Now this one sold for $19,000. This one has more of a silvery color to it. Experimental 3.6 gram planchet, and check this out. It's 69% AG. What is AG? Silver or? Yeah, silver. So 69% silver, 31% copper. So they were experimenting with different planchets. As you guys know, in 43, they ended up with a steel copper, zinc-coated steel planchet. And in 44, they were also experimenting with other different planchets. They eventually went back to producing the good old bronze planchets for the 1944 Lincolns and onward. So this one right here, $19,000 is what this one ended up selling for. And then more experimental planchets, more coins struck on other countries' compositions, more off metal strikes. There's a 55 DDO. Of course, it's a big money coin. There's some double denomination coins in here. So Lincoln cents struck on dimes. Already struck dimes, so you have design elements of both Lincoln cents and Roosevelt dimes on the same coin. There's a little bit of a close-up for you. Again, not something that normally you would find in change today, but at least you guys know what that looks like. More off metal strikes, quite a bit of those in the Weinberg auction of the Central State Show. We're almost done here. Not a whole lot else left here. This one's kind of interesting. The 68S Lincoln cent, bonded with a Costa Rican 5 centimos blank. That's kind of interesting for sure, but that's what that one looks like there. Let's see, we got more off metal strikes, quite a few of those. We got some older coins as well. Some off-center shield nickels and things of that nature. Here's an 1888 Liberty nickel indented by a brass coil. Coil is included. Now that thing is amazing. This one ended up selling for $15,600. Again, probably not something that you'll just casually come across. Even dealers probably know what that would be. Pretty cool stuff here. Again, you're going to look through this and see that a lot of the coins are not obtainable in the easiest way. Here's one that maybe could be. This is a 1976 S Washington quarter. And this one was struck on a Jefferson nickel planchet. It even has clash dies on the obverse and reverse. This one ended up selling for $2,520. This one grades proof 68 with deep cameo. Okay, more older stuff. That's a wild Franklin half dollar. That's struck on a silver quarter planchet. Yeah, some beautiful stuff here. This here's a 73S Kennedy that was struck on a quarter planchet. This one is a proof coin as well. Also exhibits some pretty strong clash dies. This one sold for $1,900. Here's some more dollars, Eisenhower's, Morgan's. Here's the notorious Sacagawea statehood quarter mule. Okay, I've talked about this on our channel before. Sold for $144,000. Again, a very expensive coin. That was one of their mainline feature coins during this event. And as you can see, here's that Morgan dollar that I've talked about before, 1880S. Struck off center by about 40%, sold for $72,000. And again, these are all coins in the Fred Weinberg collection, coins that have been assembled over the course of many decades. But that's it. I wanted to talk about those particular selections that ended here last week, or earlier in the week rather. A lot of great stuff. Again, there's a few coins in there that realistically can be found today and change. The misplaced mint mark Jefferson nickels are huge. I have a few that I had went through, and I'm confident I have a 73D low mint mark on there, same as that one that's on there. Don't think I'm going to sell it, but it's good to know that it is an attributable error if I decide to send it into PCGS. But that's going to go ahead and do it. Did you guys have any favorites from this particular show section of the Weinberg provenance? Would love to hear your thoughts. But that's going to go ahead and do it. We're going to do the PCMR as scheduled Saturday morning-ish. So you'll be able to, get a general idea of how the market's doing. While stock markets and crypto is crashing, and along with other different types of collectibles, coins still very much a very stable commodity at this point in time, along with precious metals. So I'm happy to say that. And yeah, we're going to take a look at the market as a whole on the PCMR tomorrow morning. So that's going to go ahead and do it. You guys have a wonderful rest of your Friday evening, and I'll see you on the next coin video. So long, guys.